Hello viewers, welcome to All4's e-learning. This is VMR, lecturer in English. Dear viewers, in the first session we started the topic punctuation and we discussed the terminal punctuation marks, that is end punctuation marks, full stop and question mark. They were completed in the previous session. Now let's continue with the other terminal punctuation, that is exclamation mark. Exclamation mark is used after an emotional expression of joy, surprise, shock, anger. Let me give an example. How fabulous the movie is. So this ends with an exclamation mark. After an emotional expression of joy, surprise, shock, anger, and of course sorrow. The example is how fabulous the movie is. What an idea. What an idea. It also ends with the exclamation mark. Next, second rule is after an interjection or similar word. You know very well interjections of parts of speech. For example, you take alas, he met with an accident. So in the same way, hurrah, I got top rank. In the same way, you have one more example, PT. This is exclamation word. PT, she lost her father. So this is pertaining to the second rule, and the third one is after an imperative sentence when it is charged with a feeling. For example, shut up. There will be an imperative mode that you know very well. Go and get your book. Shut up, exclamation mark, go and get your book. Get lost. I need no explanation. I need no explanation. So these are the examples of exclamation mark. After an imperative sentence when it is charged with a feeling, after an interjection or exclamatory word, and after an emotional expression of joy, surprise, shock, anger. So with this we can come to a conclusion that terminal punctuations have been completed. Dear viewers, here let's have a glance on the board. There are 10 sentences given. You will have to identify the punctuation mark which is apt for that particular sentence. Suppose let me read out the first sentence. Will you show me the book? What is present in this particular sentence? It is an interrogative sentence. Therefore, it ends with a question mark. Now the second one, if you observe, how intelligent you are. This is an exclamation. Exclamatory sentence, therefore we put exclamation mark. And you like English, don't you? It's a question tag, therefore a question tag ends with a question mark as it is an interrogative sentence. Stop the bus, it starts with a verb, therefore it is an imperative sentence. An imperative sentence ends with a full stop. It is raining now, it is a statement, therefore it ends with a full stop. What an idea. This indicates the sudden surprise, therefore we will have to put an exclamation mark at the end of this particular sentence. Sign the document, again it is an imperative sentence, it ends with a full stop. Coronavirus is very dangerous, it is a statement, of course you know very well about it, which is a pandemic. And does she need any help? It is an interrogative sentence, therefore it ends with a question mark. Alas, it begins with an interjection. After interjection we use exclamation mark, therefore here we should use exclamation mark. So this is pertaining to end punctuations. Dear students, I think you might have understood it well. Next punctuation mark is internal punctuation. Yesterday I enlisted them. Now we discuss one by one. First one is semicolon. We'll stop, top and comma down. Let's have a lecture on it. It signifies a longer pause in a sentence, and the pause is greater than that of comma and less than that of full stop. The pause is greater than comma and less than the full stop. This is a semicolon. The use of semicolon is to separate parts of a sentence, to separate main clauses in a sentence without a conjunction, to separate main clauses in a sentence without a conjunction. For example, Mandela was honest, sincere, all loved him. So these are the two main clauses. What is a clause? Clause is a group of words with a finite verb. Okay, what is a main clause? Main clause is an independent clause which stands on itself to give its complete meaning. Here there are two main clauses, and to join these two main clauses we in fact use a coordinating conjunction to form a compound sentence. Here we don't use any conjunction, but to separate these two main clauses we use a semicolon. Mandela was honest, sincere, so all loved him, like that. But we don't use so here. To separate these two main clauses we use only the semicolon. So in the same way, she worked hard, she passed the exam. Here these two are the main clauses. A main clause begins with a subject. Okay, here she is the subject, here also she is the same subject again. Okay, so these two are main clauses. If we want to join these two main clauses, we have to use a coordinating conjunction, that is, she worked hard, so she passed the exam. Here, as far as punctuation mark is concerned, to separate these two main clauses, instead of joining, here in between we use a semicolon. And the third one is between main clauses joined by connectives like besides. Between main clauses joined by connectives like besides, however, therefore, of course. Between main clauses joined by connectives besides, however, therefore, of course. Suppose let me write a sentence here. It is a mistake It's a main clause and it begins with a subject here, and it gives its a complete sense. And here we use a semicolon. However, we use here. However is always followed by a comma. You are excused. Let me write one more sentence. The bike is too costly. Besides, I don't need it. Besides, I don't need it. So before this besides, we have to use a semicolon. First one is to separate main clauses in sentence not joined by a conjunction. First sentence. Second sentence, this one. And the third one is to separate parts of a sentence which has many commas. You see here, our team for cultural competition consists of Ramu of 6th class. Here we put one comma. From Hyderabad, after this we have to use a semicolon. And again Krishna of 10th class. From Krishna of 10th class, here we put comma. And after Nalgonda we use again a semicolon. Semicolon is used when there are more number of commas in a big sentence. This is pertaining to semicolon. Next internal punctuation is colon. Colon is not often used. It indicates a fairly close interdependent between the units that it separates. It indicates a fairly close interdependence between the units that it separates. And before the colon, the sentence is complete but not the sentence fragment. So the uses of colon is: number one, to introduce the list of items. To introduce the list of items, for example, send me the following. Here we put a colon. Papers, pen, writing pad, etc. Next one is to anticipate a specific explanation of a general statement. To anticipate a specific explanation of a general statement. For example, you take cancer is very dangerous. Cancer is very dangerous. Here we can put the colon. It kills many people every year. It kills many people every year. This is pertaining to colon. To introduce the list of items, to anticipate a specific explanation of a general statement, it is not often used. Colon is not often used, and before the colon the sentence should be complete. Next one is comma. The most frequently used mark of punctuation is comma, which indicates a slight pause in a sentence. The most frequently used mark of punctuation is comma, which indicates a slight pause in a sentence. There are number of rules of comma. Now let me explain one by one. To separate more than two words of the same class, to separate more than two words of the same class, to separate more than two words of the same class. Example, Ram, comma, Rahim, comma, Robert and Sudha belongs to the same class. Number two, after an adverbial clause or a phrase. After an adverbial clause or a phrase. For example, after we attended the party. After we attended the party, we left for Delhi. For example, if you take we attended the party, we left for Delhi. This is main clause, and if we add this adverb, this becomes an adverbial clause, and this is a subordinate clause. As there is an adverb, it is also called as an adverbial clause. After this adverbial clause, we put a comma. After we attended the party, we left for Delhi. This total sentence is a complex sentence which is the combination of one main clause and one subordinate clause, and a subordinate clause will definitely begins with a conjunction. And the third one, if you take in non-defining relative clauses also we use comma. There is a big sentence here, Mumbai. Here we have to put one comma. The business capital of India. The business capital of India. The business capital of India is facing water crisis. Mumbai, the business capital of India, is facing water crisis. Our grandfather, comma, who is 80 years old, who celebrated his 80th birthday is a philanthropist. Our grandfather who celebrated his 80th birthday is a philanthropist. And here after we attended the party, we left for Delhi. So here we discussed after adverbial clause, and after a phrase also we use comma. Suppose born in Nepal, comma, he studied there. He studied there only. This is a phrase. What is a phrase? Phrase is a group of words without a subject and without a finite verb. There is no subject in this particular phrase. This is a phrase. After phrase we use comma, and after adverbial clause also we use a comma, and in non-defining relative clauses also we use comma. Next, in letter writing, there are many rules of comma. In letter writing we use commas. Where do we use comma in letter writing? After salutation and complementary clause. After salutation and complementary clause. For example, dear Krishna. For example, you take after this we use comma. Complimentary clause you take yours faithfully. After this also we use comma. To introduce direct speech, he said, comma, inverted commas, I completed the work. He said, I completed the work, full stop, inverted commas, closed. Here, direct speech. When we find a comma and inverted commas, we can conclude that the given sentence is in direct speech. After question tag, before question tag we use comma. Suppose he reads English. Here we have to put comma. So the question tag here is doesn't he. After sentence adverbs we use comma. For example, fortunately I rescued myself from accident. To introduce direct speech, before question tags, after sentence adverbs, we use comma. And next is there are some words. After that words we have to use comma, like this luckily, let me write here luckily, comma, finally, accordingly, meanwhile, perhaps. There are many words. Perhaps, however, etc. After these words and some expressions we use comma. Okay. And the other use of comma is to separate date or month from year. To separate date or month from year, the example is 15th August 1947. This is date or month, January 26, January. (1950). And the next rule is in postal address we use comma. (2-10-1502), comma, Jyoti Nagar, Karimnagar, for instance. Okay, and the other one is in exclamatory words, sorry, after exclamatory words or similar words like yes, no, well, yes, no, well, etc. So yes, he, comma, yes, comma, he did it. Well, comma, he completed the work. Next one is in the vocative case. In the vocative case, that is addressing. We use comma after a noun or pronoun. Okay, for example, Raju. So here we have to put comma. Come here. And the last one is to separate name from degree or department. Suppose he is Mr. Ashok, comma, an IAS. So other one is meet Mr. Bansal, meet Mr. Bansal, comma, the manager. This is pertaining to comma, which is most frequently used mark of punctuation which clearly shows a slight pause in a sentence.